It's 11:04 my time, so I guess we can get started. I'm going to give just a very brief update about our activities, and then I will let Murad start with his presentation. So Jandan, say hi to everyone. How's Azmir? I don't know if you can. Okay, how are you, Jandan? You're there.
Hello. I was not in Izmir. I am in Cyprus. So okay. Hello to everyone.
It's very nice always seeing you and Murad and everyone here in this group. Okay, very brief update. So we have done data extraction for our umbrella systematic review project. Thank you so much. Big thank to Ahmed, Faraj, and Hannah, and also Ziad for the great contribution to this project. And we're planning to submit an abstract for SIOP for Barcelona. Apparently, the deadline is next week on Monday. So we'll make sure to submit the abstract before that time. Also, we were working very closely with the team from Turkey, from Murat and Jandan, on a narrative review about TNCM use among children with cancer in Turkey. And so far, we have really a good number of data. We put the skeleton for the paper, and we're aiming to publish this maybe by June. Also, Jandan, Murad, and myself working on systematic review of systematic reviews. And this is like to capture all different systematic reviews that talking about TNCM use and going like trying to come up with like a policy or something to regulate how to assess the use of TNCM in the clinical practice. Those are two projects that I'm working with Murat and Jandan on. And if anyone would like to participate or take part of those two projects also, please reach out and you'll be more than welcome to take a piece. Also, I had discussion with very new group member, Murad Sawalha, and he's with us here today. And I will let Murad to introduce himself for just a few seconds, and then I can mention what we have discussed for. So Murad, if you can hear me, Murad Sawalha, I'm talking about Murad. If you can hear me, just introduce yourself, and then I can carry on.
Thank you, Muhammad. I have a problem with the mic, and but it's okay. Yeah, I'm assistant professor at Hashimat University in Jordan. Actually, these days I'm a head of department of maternal, child, and family health nursing. I graduated in 2017. I finished my PhD. The focus of my PhD was on compliance with the standard precautions among pediatric nurses, and it was qualitative study. So my research actually the focus on qualitative research, and I'm interested to work in pediatric oncology, and I am delighted to join the group. And thank you, Muhammad, to invite me for this group. Thank you all for welcoming me to this group.
Thank you so very much. You know what? The YouTube video that SIOP just presented like a week ago, it was really helping, like recruiting very intelligent people like you, Murad. So thank you so much. So Murad saw the interview, the YouTube video, and reach out, and we started this. So just a simple reminder, Murad, if you can just go ahead and complete your application for SIOP membership, and that then we can get started from that point. So Murad has a very interesting proposal about studying TNCM in Jordan, and we will start working on this once he's a member, and he's actually a member, but I mean, once he completes the administrative parts of SIOP, and then we can get started with it. So if anyone interested in this group to be part of that project, also reach out. As you know, we have a bigger group where we communicate, but we have also subgroups working based on the projects. So just let me know if you are interested, and you are more than welcome to participate. The good news, I'm sorry, Murad, I'm taking a little bit from your time, but we have a new member. He's a new old member from Tunisia. I guess we have met once at SAOP. Emin, he's joining us and he's sending on the chat. So thank you so much for making it and be part of this meeting. And also we have Lawrence, another new face to this group. So welcome, Lawrence, to this group. Okay, so before further ado, I'm gonna, as you know, this is not a regular meeting. This is Journal Club, but usually I just give a very brief overview about what we are working on. So I will just leave the floor to Murad to start his Journal Club presentation. And then afterward, you know, Murad, you have like 20 minutes to 30 minutes to present. Then we will open the floor for any discussion or any questions. So Murad, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Mohammed. I share my presentations. Yes. I think look at good evening, first everybody. I shared this manuscript or articles, the complementary and alternative medicine method used among the Turkish practice oncology patients in this journal club. I share
Murad, just let me interrupt you a little bit. So can you please put the presentation mode so we can see the slide in
okay.
bigger size?
I share again.
I guess you need to hit this again. It's not the...
It's okay, Mohammed.
I'm not sure. I don't know if the other everyone can see it, but anyway, you can carry on. I don't know. But if you can just make it presentation.
I share again. It's okay, Mohammed. It's a full screen.
Still, no, it's not a full screen. Apparently, you're using two screens, and you need to move to the screen with the full slide. But if that doesn't work, not worry. So don't worry about it. So you can carry on.
I share my screen, and after that, start the presentations.
Again, sorry for interrupting. So you can carry. Oh, that works. Thank you.
Maybe it's first share the screen, and after that the full screen of the presentations. Now I share with you in this unique complementary and alternative medicine method used among the Turkish pediatric oncology patients, a special group in Turkey. I share some part of the introduction because it's very important, I think. Look at the introduction, the author said that the use of the complementary and alternative medicine treating the child disease and relieving their symptoms has increased in recent years and has commonly used, especially among the children with the chronic disease. In Turkey, in other countries, the use of varies based on the social, cultural, economic structure of their society. In the Turkey is a very different socio-cultural group, socio-cultural society, and affect the use of the part of the Turkey's part to part. I think it's very important things, this information. In Turkey and other countries, one group of which can use wide use in children with pediatric cancer groups. In Turkey, a lot of mothers or a lot of parents use try to improve the children's treatment or try to help the children, they manage the symptoms. In our countries, there are a lot of different CAM use in Turkey. The prevalence of use CAM among the children with the cancer greatly different in the world. For example, 6% to 100%. The same in the Turkey. We look at the literature in Turkish literature. There are limited studies used in pediatric oncology patients. The study came of the literature. The studies on use of CAM in pediatric oncology patient in Turkey showing a prevalence 46.9 and 77%. There are, we look at the literature, therefore there is a need more studies on the use of CAM in pediatric cancer in Turkey, because there are limited knowledge, limited literature, and we don't know effective factor that use of complementary and alternative medicine. And sometimes I think all of times mother not say the which method use the CAM or what time use the CAM in the health professional. It's very important to a lot of knowledge, a lot of literature in Turkey. The study aim was to determine the current use of CAMs by the Turkish mother for the treatment of their children with cancer. There are limited information, and the authors state that we need new informations, and we gained the information about the Turkish samples. In this study, answer the following question. First question, what are the reasons for the current use of CAMs? It's very important. What are the factors affecting to use the CAMs, and which CAM methods are currently being used the mothers and children's? Does the use CAMs show any difference according to children's socio-demographic characteristic or mother characteristic and clinic characteristic of the children? It's very important. There are different and a variety of use this characteristic. We look at the research design. It's the author said that the study was planned across sectional and descriptive methods, but they use a comparison method. I think they used some characteristic according to children or mothers comparison the CAM use. However, the method actually includes both simple descriptive research and comparison descriptive statistic. That's why this part, look at this part is right again. I think it's very important. The participant is very important. The study was conducted at a hematology oncology clinic and outpatient clinic of Territorial Hospital in Turkey between the January and March 2016. The study was complete with the 110 voluntary mothers of the 132 children who received care at this center, these clinics. I think is the author said that not enough samples, but I think is very good samples. 110 people give the answer to questionnaire. It's very good samples. After the research gave verbal and written explanation, they had the constituent parent fill out the data collection form in empathy examination room. A special area, give the mothers a room to collect the data forms and fill the forms a very good time. The author used a questionnaire, self-reported questionnaire. The questionnaire consists of two sections. One section of socio-demographic characteristic of children and mothers, for example, gender, age, diagnosis, and cancer stage. and some characteristics of mothers, for example, educational level, marital status, monthly income. This is a general part of our data collection forms. Second section is about the CAM use. The second section asks whether parents were currently using any CAM method for their children, type of methods used, reason for using, and information search for CAM. It's very good part of these sections. The author listed the popular CAM in questionnaire include the herbal products, message, psychotherapy, yoga, meditation, aromatherapy, acupuncture, relaxation technique, exercise, music therapy, the others. There are a lot of, the author asked the patient a lot of methods, only limited answer they take back. The questionnaire took approximately 10-15 minutes to complete. It's very good, I think. The set, I think, is they are not take they are actually before the starting the study, a pilot study was conducted the 5 mothers of children with cancer to test the functionality of the questionnaire, which provide the adequate and was revised further. It's very important, I think. They not added this 5 mothers in the study. It's very important for this part is bias. I think is very good method, this part. But expert opinion was not taken for the developing question, and content validity index were not calculated because expert opinion actually showed that the sufficient of developed question in measuring the subject is, we look at the other studies in Turkey or in world, is in many other studies, the validity and reliability of the measurement has not done sufficiently. I think it's yes, is maybe not a big problem, but is standardized measurement tool is very important. This area we try to. I think they take an expert opinion and they calculate the content validity index is a very good approach to this questionnaire. I think I said some things about the ethical process. They take the ethical permissions, and they take the institution permissions, and after that they use the questionnaire and take the data in the mothers. In the results sections is there are a lot of different parts in these sections. The first is social characteristic of the children and mothers. In this study, we look at the tables. It was found 55% of the children with cancer were boys, 41% of the 41.8% are aged 18 years, and 59.1 had leukemia, and 48.2 went throughout the phase of diagnosis and treatment. And look at the tables, 97.3 underwent the chemotherapy at time the study. It's very large group of the this. The same time, among the mother participating in study, 50% primary school graduated, and 52.7 were 35 years old or older, and 67% of the had 2 or 3 children. Furthermore, 3 of the mother state they had a middle level of income. But lots of mothers have a middle income, and mean age of the mother and their children. We look at the mother's age mean 35.30, and children age mean we look at the tables 90.20, and respectively we look at the tables. The duration of concentrating of children was 2.29. It's very varied treatment time and varied children age is in sample groups. We look at the use F characteristic of the CAM among the mothers. 53.6 were currently using the CAM for the children's. And the mother expressed they had used CAM method for purpose of the supporting the treatment. 96.8 of mothers, and decrease the side effect of treatment. At the same time, 22.1 because they consider it to natural remedy. 34% of mothers. It's very large group of mothers use the CAM in this sample group. The mother using the CAM state they start the CAM use their children were diagnosed 61%. It's very big groups. Upon the recommendation of family members, 67.8, and suggestion for others using the CAM 72.9. The same time, the more than half mothers using the CAM did not consult the healthcare professional. It's very important this part because in Turkey all of the studies the same rate of this part, and all of in lots of studies the use scheme did not consult the healthcare professional. The same result in the other studies. 81% of mothers state that they support the CAM use in the study or in the treatment. Yes. Look at the other characteristic of children's. Look at the other CAM. Yes, this information healthcare person about the use CAM is a lot of persons, and there are a lot of many results in these tables. We among the mother using the CAM 93.2 use the natural products, and the same time 60.8 applied the mind and the body practice for their children with characteristic. Look at different yes. Sometimes a bit late my table is came, sorry. It was determined that the mother used mostly carob molasses and mulberry and grape molasses as a natural products. They applied the mind and body practice by message. 50% of mothers taking their children to traditional healing practice, 25%, and heat applications in 25% of mother in Turkey. There are a lot of technique used in the CAM in this study. Generally is used herbal products in our countries. It's a bit surprise for me because it's not a religious method in this study. I know in Turkey there are a lot of religious methods used in the CAM in Turkey. it's a bit different parts or different result in this study, the other Turkish literature. The mind and body practice is very less in this study. I think maybe it's related to questions or related to ask a question to persons. It's very a bit different from the other literature result, I think. Yeah. In this study, comparison can use according to characteristics of children and mothers. Only children gender affected the can use in the mother whose doctor said cancer use came the highest rate. In the Turkish is the other child age diagnosis tip and mother educations or the martial status or income level. I think in very important to income level in Turkey, because if you have enough money to take the came or use the came, it's very important, but it's a very different result in the other studies in Turkish. Maybe it's general, but the other variables, age, diagnosis, stage of the cancer, and the other characteristics not affect the children came use or mother came use for the children with cancer. I think it's a different part of this result. Yes, the other characteristic, the not statistically significant difference between the characteristic. In the other literature said that mother or parents' education level is high, the came use in high is different, or income level is high, the came use is high, is a bit different. The literature in Turkish, a bit different. In the conclusion, the study revealed that more than half of the mother use came, particularly the herbal products, to mother support the treatment their children with cancer and decrease the side effect of treatment. Most mothers did not consult the healthcare professional about the use of CAM. History of CAM usually part of the patient evaluation. The author suggests that as such use may create a potential risk for CAM and medicine interactions. The author suggests that the patient and families should be encouraged to disclose their use of CAM methods to healthcare team. The same time suggests that the further studies are projecting a more extensive sample, potentially provide the evidence determining the short and long-term effects of the CAM methods in children with cancer. I think it's their sample is enough, but their limitation is only one area of the Turkey. In Turkey, there are limited clinics of oncology, pediatric oncology, and all of the Turkeys come to these special centers. I think their population, their samples, same the Turkey populations. It's maybe, I think, different the authors. Maybe, yes, I think their sample is enough, but their limitation is only one centers take the study. I think it's very important. Thank you very much. This is the Turkish. Teşekkürler.
Oh, teşekkürat, Murat. Thank you so much. That's very comprehensive. And you know what? When I read such articles, I totally relate. You can see too many areas of overlap between TNCM or CAM prevalence studies that's coming from different nations, from different countries. So during your presentation, I wrote down many overlap things that I read in different other articles that were published in other countries, as you can relate to. We can discuss this further, but let me open the floor for any question. And then I have also a list of questions, but let me give the opportunity for anyone who would like to raise any question or any comments for discussion. I guess Ahmed has one. I totally understand you can relate because we just completed the data extraction and you read a lot about such materials. So go ahead, Ahmed.
Thank you, Murat, very much for your presentation. I like it really so much, but I have also some questions. You have presented that about the diagnosis of the patients, about 60% having leukemia. I think this is about the usual rates in different centers. I mean, usually the leukemia present about 1/3 of the childhood cancers. Do you have explanation why you have much higher prevalence of leukemia?
Ahmed, I think in maybe related to only or limited the oncology doctor in these centers. If you have a limited doctors in these centers, limited patient is oncology. In Turkey, hematology patient is very high, and the some centers is high of the hematology patients. For example, leukemia is in some centers, some doctors is very famous in Turkey. In some centers is treatment, some characteristic of patients in this area is, I think, is related to their doctors' characteristic and doctors' populations. I know their specialist area is the hematology, and lots of people come these parts and take the treatment. I think it's because of this, the leukemia is high for this part.
Okay.
So I guess, Ahmed, your question is about the table 1, about characteristics of children, and they said because of the sample has like 65 leukemia patient. Is this your question about?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so as Murad mentioned, so it's simply because it's very convenient sampling, you know. So the researcher go there to the clinic and they just recruit and invite whoever is there. So this is the problem, that we could not really see exactly sample that represents all the patient diagnosis. It depends on who has appointment at that time. You see, this is one of the things with cross-sectional surveys with convenience sampling that you can see such bias. But at the end of the day, you can see that we have good number. 110, as Murad mentioned, is a good sample size in general. Especially the researchers, they reported that they did power analysis based on chi-square, which is, again, this is strength. But in terms of generalizing the results for all cancer patients in Turkey, there is a problem in there, right?
Yes.
So, okay, I'll let you carry on.
The second question is in the same table, please, about the family income level. What's the definition of poor, moderate, and good?
In Turkey, Ahmed, we ask the parents the perception of herself. I think your income level is, for example, we ask I earn some money and I expend some money. If the equals is middle, moderate. If I earn little money, I spend lots of money, is poor. And if you have earn high money, spent less than this, the good level of the income level. In our countries, we think maybe sometimes we earn lots of money, but spend lots of money is the you think I moderate level, but sometimes the other person is less, but it's spent less, maybe it's moderate. It's not a Turkish lira, it's not a ask the Turkish lira, their perception of yourself level, incoming level.
Okay. Then the third question, I mean, I think it's a general question. It's about the meditation and the prayers. I mean that Turkey is famous that it's also a Muslim country, for example, and it's one of our behaviors or our habits to do the prayer daily and always, even without disease. In our prayers, we pray for our children or something like that. This is just a discussion for all of us. Shall we really consider the prayers for Muslims, for example, as a real complementary medicine or not? It's difficult, I think.
A good questions in part of our daily life. I think if you have your children's as disease, critical or deathly disease, the praise or prayers is a part of your daily activities. I think in Turkey or in Muslims, sometimes is I think I like a psychotherapy. Maybe it's in my opinion, not a literature or not a different way. In my experience, all of the mothers sometimes pray with her children. Sometimes pray with out of the patient rooms, or sometimes the other area. For example, sometimes Kur'an okumak. Maybe it's a holy book for Quran. Maybe it's open the Quran and they pray for your children's. I think is maybe it's, in my opinion, not decided a complementary or alternative medicine or a part of the daily activity. I think a part of the human subject, and but it's very important the children is ill, especially critic ill, and maybe mothers copy it with their feelings and their stress, and sometimes they relieve the children's anxiety or stress, in my opinion.
Thank you so much, Murad. Yeah, that's a great try. I guess that's very interesting question. Thank you, Ahmed, for raising this up. Actually, in my study, the first study about traditional complementary medicine back in Jordan, this was like in 2009. I decided with my research team to exclude the prayers from traditional complementary medicine for one reason, because we do not want to have bias in the prevalence rate, in the reported prevalence rate. Because if we include it, it's going to be 100%. I totally understand. It's part of our custom. It's part of our, that part of the word is kind of religious, and prayer and making prayers, reading Quran is something of daily habits. That's why we decided that way. But and also we have here Muhammad Saghir also contributed in the chat. He mentioned that I think it should not be considered as scam. Iman also said exactly. Saghir said unless this will lead, this leads to abandonment of treatment. What I say, it depends on how you define the traditional and complementary medicine. For example, the National Center for Complementary and Integrative Health, and this is US based federal agency, part of NCI, they consider prayers as one of the traditional complementary medicine, and they are under psychological approaches because they describe it as has an effect on the psychological part of human, which could help in a way or another to improve the psychological well-being of the children with cancer or cancer patients or any kind of patients. So again, it depends on how you define traditional complementary medicine. We know that the terminology, still we don't have consensus on the terminology. Some people, as in this paper, reported, some researcher reported the terminology as complementary and alternative medicine, or CAM. And many people, like in our group, we are supporting TNCM. Other groups supporting CHA, or complementary health approaches, like NCIH. So still, how to define traditional and complementary medicine is not something has consensus, because we have many types, and depends on the purpose of the use. So maybe as part of this group, I hope after I complete my term as co-chair, maybe as a group, we can come up with a statement to make clarity around this and make the clear definition to make sure, to decrease the confusion. And I wrote it here, Ahmed, the first point, that the prevalence rate is 48.9 to 77%. And I had very, very big question mark about, okay, how about prayers, and how about the religious part, the religious practices, was that count or not? Apparently it was not. So in this study, but we can carry on discussing this. Nidal opened his camera. I guess he has something to add here.
May I just give my last question before leaving? Excuse me, Nidal. Just one question more.
Because no, it's okay, Muhammad. It's okay, Ahmed. Take your time. Take your time.
Unless you wanna just make a point about the very same point. Do you have anything related to the same point?
Just I wanted to stress on your point, Muhammad, that the definition is the key in this issue. I think you did a good here in Jordan, but because it's a cross-sectional self-administered questionnaire. However, if we maybe keep it and you change the method, like you asked specifically if the users or the cancer patients are using prayers just or at the time or for the purpose of maybe praying for their child or their relatives or themselves. So we might capture actually and differentiate between the prayers, which is related to the religious part, or the things that we need to do on a daily basis, versus the prayers that we do for the purpose of maybe cure from diseases. So this is just my comment, and congratulations, Murad, Prof. Murad, for the very, very well done work.
Thank you very much, Nidal.
I just realized that you're driving, so drive safe. So thank you.
I reached home.
Okay, Ahmed. Any other question? Ahmed, you have one more question, then
the last question for me.
Group members would like to ask.
So, Murad, it's also very interesting for me during the reading in the complementary medicine across different countries in the world, and because you are coming from the same country, from Turkey, some complementary medicines which you have mentioned, it's a little bit strange for me, weird for me. Because of that, may you clarify to me what's this exactly? The marrow juice, you mean bone marrow, or what exactly?
Mulberry molasses.
Down marrow juice, yes.
Maybe it's bone, inner of the bone, special meat in the bone. Sorry, I try to.
Can I help
boiling the.
This is like kawari, Ahmed. It's a fat inside the bone.
Okay.
It's you have bone marrow and the fat inside the bones, like kawari. I don't know. شوربة الكوارع عندكم in Egypt. So this is very similar. Is that the same thing in Turkey, Murad?
Yes, yes. We boiled in the and we take it and eat the children's because they people thinks it's a very good for the children's and special products to heal the children's maybe get better the treatments and they increase the treatment or they support the treatment.
Okay. And what's the nettle, something like that?
We share the
You can see the picture.
Sırgan.
ısırgan hocam
Nettle is, we call it in Arabic, al-qurres.
a plant maybe
Yeah.
Zahmet, a plant is take the is a bit a bite your hand like a bit different. Sorry, we in the internet I look at the
Okay, I will search for it. Okay.
has a special products. I look at my
Yeah, you can search. I just describe it very quickly because we had 10 minutes to go. So Ahmed, this is a special plant. It has like anti-inflammatory property. In Arabic, it calls al-qurres or hurreg. This is like it has a leaf, as Murad mentioned, with very small, what we call it. Yeah, this is exactly. When you put your finger on it, you feel like some heat or allergic kind of symptoms. Your hand will be like it has some redness or something. People use the leaf, like leaf as a tea, or the root of this root extract of this nettle leaf. It has. To be very honest, I've never read about having this herbs for cancer, mostly for benign prostatic hyperplasia, for some other like arthritis. They use it on the knee or on the joint. But this is the first time that I read they're using nettle for children with cancer, for cancer. So thank you so much, Murad. So I tried to help, but thank you for
sorry, it's very
the
difficult because special plants for use the cam in Turkey very vary, lots of use in Turkish, some of boiling and eating, some of use your areas and like it's different ways, but it's very general in Turkey.
Okay. And what about the gelatin? Do you mean the normal gelatin for children?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes, normal gelatin. We use sometimes parents take the sorry. Sometimes it's animal gelatin. Sometimes is the other gelatins. The changes in the part of the Turkey. Some is original. Some is animal gelatin is take different.
Okay. Thank you so much. And excuse me again for my long questions.
Thank you very much.
No, thank you so much. So I want to just share with you maybe on our group a very nice resource for herbs. As you know, herbs, we have many types and people are using it extensively for cancer and other things. But the National Center for Complementary Integrative Health, they built a very nice app that has the most common kind of herbs that's used in North America in general, but has also overlap with other cultures or cultural backgrounds. So I can share this with you. The application, you can search for herb list as a one word. So this is reliable kind of application, and I will put the name in the chat so you can look at it. But I see Murad raise his hand. Go ahead, Murad. Not Murad, Murad.
Yes.
Okay. Tashakkurlar, Murad, for your presentation. It's an interesting study. I have a few questions. why you didn't consider the relationship between CAMs and using the type of treatment like chemotherapy, surgery, and bone marrow transplant? Actually, maybe there is a difference in usage of CAMs with this treatment. And if the parents use before the treatment, after the treatment, or through the treatment. And this is one question. Also, is there a difference between the age group and usage of CAMs? Also, there's in the questionnaire phase of disease, diagnosis and remission and relapse. Is there a difference between the time of usage of CAMs with this phase of treatment?
Murat, thank you very much for your question. First question is time of the diagnosis. What the author not an explanation why this time is take your questionnaire. I think they think or they think in Turkey or in this studies, they think the started to time is very important, and which time is they started to came use. In our country, lots of time they use the came start with the after the diagnosis, and they think they decrease the time of the relapse or remission. I think they the author they think the highest rate of the came in after the diagnosis and after the relapse related to symptoms or adverse effects in they think decrease the use remission time. I think in my opinion, in the age of the children is I think they think first 6 years and school age and adolescent. I think they think the part of the time is separate the age of the child development stage. I think in my opinion, but not say an explanation about the this characteristic or they who decided this age in the questionnaire, not an explanation, enough explanation in the study. I think, in my opinion, only development stage of the first 6 years and school age and adolescent. I think, in my opinion.
Yeah, I ask that because I think what convinced parents to use CAM, for example, maybe after diagnosis immediately, maybe they use the usual treatment, but if they say so that the treatment is not goes well, maybe they will convince to use CAM. I think this is maybe.
Maybe Murat, I think in my experience, maybe child age is decreased, mother or father afraid of to use the CAM because of their child is think very little, and they not protect yourself their effect of the CAM use. And maybe it's not very high, but the stage of cancer is high, the use of CAM is high, and age is high. The use of the CAM sometimes related to treatment time, and a mother and fathers they think I do everything for my child, and use of the other treatment technique come at the others. Maybe the hike or decrease for the child characteristic and the other factors. Maybe I think, but the author not say that any explanation about this in my opinion. I think they stage of age and their clinics specialty or the others sometimes, in my opinion, maybe they make a statistic enough children in the all groups. Maybe very little comparison of this group of enough people in the every groups, in my opinion.
So we can consider these things for the future studies.
Let me jump in here a little, because we don't have that much time. We have just 1 minute left. But that's very interesting, Murad, because studying before and after cancer diagnosis, the health beliefs, let's say, about the use of traditional and complementary medicine is very important. For one side, that we need to know whether the parents, they have used traditional and complementary medicine before cancer diagnosis, and they carry on based on that belief and healthy practices or health belief, or because of the cancer. So they changed their health belief, their health practices, and then they started on traditional and complementary medicine. As Murad mentioned, that to use everything possible to help their children, or maybe following some recommendations from people. And I know people, they stop conventional treatments to go and try traditional and complementary medicine. And this is, as Saghir mentioned, that this is a kind of treatment abandonment that I guess part of our group is to enhance the knowledge about this area and enhance the disclosure rate, enhance the discussion between healthcare providers, especially prescribing healthcare providers like oncologists, nurse practitioners, and also nurses and pharmacists, with patients and their parents. And this is very, very important, I guess. So thank you so much, both. I guess we are almost done for today. I'm sure that you have too many other questions. So please, if you have any question, we can carry on with this discussion on our WhatsApp group. So just send your question, Murad can reply, anyone can be part of the discussion, because it's 12:01, so I don't want to take that much from your schedule and daily calendar, so you can carry on the WhatsApp group. So Ahmed maybe will provide us with very simple kind of minutes for the updates and for this meeting. And if you have any questions, just reach out and let us know. I want to also emphasize on the renewing your PsyOp membership. And if you're not member yet, please go ahead and register. And there is a tricky part in there that you need to include within your profile that you are part of this group, traditional and complementary medicine working group. So you will get the update by email by our colleague at PsyOp administration. So I will leave it there. So thank you so very much again, Murad, for the interesting presentation. Thank you everyone for the interesting discussion. Murad from Jordan, thank you for your contribution, for your first attendance today. And so there is a good news here. Emin, I'm not sure if I pronounced your name right, Emin Shabasho. I'm sorry for that, because but he's from Tunisia, or she's from Tunisia, and she sent me a direct message saying that she would like to be part of this group. So welcome again, our new member. I believe you are a PsyOp member already. So welcome, Broad, Emin. Thank you so much again, guys, and see you next month. Bye.